Mike McDaniel did an interview at the NFL meeting today, and I'm sure the real reason you want to watch this video is because we have another installment of Reek Speak. Holy crap, this dude! Let's do this. Dolphins fans, thank you for checking out my channel. I appreciate it. It's been a couple weeks since I've done an actual video and not just done a live stream, so I figured high time just to put out a normal video. And what would a normal video be without Reek Speak? But first, before all that, I wanted to show something I got in the mail today, and I'm pretty excited about it. It's one of these little helmets, these little mini helmets that they're selling. This is the classic 60s, 70s, early 80s style. I got to get the other ones. Now that I have it and I'm looking at it, it's like it's the coolest thing ever. So they even got the pads inside. Like it's pretty cool, pretty detailed. So yeah, I'm going to have to get the 90s and early 2000s one, and I'm going to have to get one of the new ones as well. I think they're really sick. Probably look pretty cool back there on the wall having all three of them. So anyway, let's get into this. I don't know, should I do the Tyreek stuff first, or should we let's do the Tyreek stuff first. So on X, there was a post made, and you'd think that people would have this figured out by now, that you'd know what Tyreek Hill was about, that you'd know that this man loves to play games on Twitter. Still can't figure it out. No one can. I mean, this one I actually thought was pretty freaking funny, especially with his reactions that he did. We'll go through it. The first thing that he did was he saw this post from a man on X. I actually follow this guy. His name's David Fisher. But this was funny. He made this post that said, "Fens Nation, would you be open to trading Tyreek Hill?" Of course, you know Tyreek's going to see this. And he retweeted it with a smiley face. And then there was some replies to which he just started replying to everybody with his peace signs. People are taking this to mean that Tyreek Hill was, that he was trying to imply that he wants to be traded, of course. And that's not what he was doing. He was just messing with people. I didn't really make too much news of it. But after I saw everybody on YouTube and Twitter and Facebook trying to make it more than what it was, of course, you know, they're going to. People bite, and when they bite hard. So that was the original post. Tyreek Hill replying with a few peace signs and a laughy face when he retweeted it. No big deal, right? Well, you know, like I said, everybody freaked out about it. And this was the second post that was made. This one was by Tyreek Hill. And he said, the post was, "Tyreek Hill reportedly would be okay if the Dolphins traded him to a playoff contender." Of course, he's going to retweet it, and he says, "LOL, another fake narrative." Yes, a fake narrative. I do not believe that Tyreek Hill wants to go anywhere. If anything, just from a sheer standpoint of money. He wants to keep making money. He doesn't want to pay taxes. Miami's a nice place to be. He likes it there. But, of course, people are going to be making these posts like this, especially lately. Have you guys noticed all these stupid posts on Facebook and X where it's just so clearly just a bold-faced lie? And then you have these homers that go on there and they see this stuff and they actually believe it. It's insane. It's getting worse and worse. Seems like as AI goes more and more, people just become more and more stupid to kind of offset the intelligence from the artificial intelligence. I don't know what's going on. The world's falling apart, going to hell in a handbasket. But We do have some YouTubers lying around, and some more well-known ones than myself, but we're still around, the ones that aren't completely devoid of all intellect. But anyway, I figured I would share this because I thought it was funny. Tyreek Hill says another false narrative, but just an obvious bold-faced lie. Like, this is not something that has any kind of warrant or any reason for this post. This is just complete lies. This is a NFL rumors page, and it says rumors, but my goodness, it doesn't say complete lies, and that's what it really is. So anyway, moving on. Then Tyreek Hill made another post, and this one was actually funny. I don't have the video, but just looking at this picture, oh my goodness, it's killing me. Go find it. It's on his page. It's absolutely hilarious. Basically, he said that, I just got to say this. I love being a Dolphin with all my life. And if you say something on Twitter, I have no choice but to troll. And at this point, I got to agree with him. You got to mess with these people. I would probably end up doing the same thing. Maybe not, on the same level that he does, but let's be real. I mean, come on. If this was about you and this kind of crap happened, you'd be messing around a little bit too. And at the same time, he's doing the responsible thing and saying, yeah, this isn't true. This is obvious crap, but I have to troll you guys. And the ones that actually believe this stuff are the ones that aren't going to see this post with his big old fat head going over the screen and just talking. It's a video. I don't have it, but you guys need to go to his page and check it out. It's worth giving a look. It's funny. So anyway, that's today's Reek Speak. Just wanted to cover that for you guys and share the absolute mayhem going on in social media because of this. And this one wasn't even Tyreek Hill causing it, guys. This is false narratives and lies, and it's just so sad. Anyway, moving on. There was some serious news today that happened, and I do want to talk a little bit about all this stuff. This was It was the meeting, the NFL meeting. All the teams, owners, and coaches, and some players that are selected by the Players Union. They meet and talk about things and kind of establish anything that might need to change, stuff like that. It happens every year. But Mike McDaniel gave an interview. It was about a half an hour long, and if you go onto my YouTube channel and you look at the community tab, you'll see a link to that interview if you want to go check it out. I'd recommend everybody give it a watch because, yeah, it's kind of hard to listen to Mike McDaniel talk sometimes because he is very long-winded, and you kind of have to sift through a bunch of words to kind of get the meaning of what he was saying. And a lot of times he just doesn't divulge any information. But in this interview, kind of like the last interview he did that I made a video about, I'm seeing a change in Mike McDaniel. Is he still a little long-winded? Yeah. He is. That's who he is. He's going to be that way. But there's truth behind what he's saying, and he doesn't really skirt around issues as much as he was. And I got to give him credit for that. It's actually kind of refreshing to know that he's giving answers to some of these important questions. So we'll go through this all my notes here, and I'll talk about some things that was said. And like I said, you guys should definitely go and give a look at what happened, or what he actually said. I'm just gonna give the run through. I talked about the Reek Speak thing, and first of all, the very first thing in the video, Mike McDaniel was asked about Tyreek Hill and these recent exploits on X, and Mike McDaniel just straight up said it's like, if it's something real or something serious then it would need to be discussed, and it would be. He's like, but it hasn't been discussed, so it's not important. He's obviously a troll. Everybody knows it. So Mike McDaniel was very upfront about that. It was pretty encouraging. I was happy to hear it. And then, right after I watched the interview, then I saw the stuff on Twitter, and I was like, oh my goodness, yeah, totally right. So that was it on that. He wasn't done talking about Tyreek. He talked about the captaincy for Tyreek Hill and how he was a captain last year, and is it going to happen again? And Mike McDaniel said, well, if you see Tyreek Hill this year with a C on his jersey this season, it means that the players have moved on and they've healed from what happened at the end of the season. He said Tyreek Hill has been very proactive about repairing damage done with the team and with players, and he has been frequently in the building in meetings with McDaniel himself, Robert Prince, and other coaches and players. So he also said that Tyreek knows that he crossed the line and he did the wrong thing by the team, but since has done all he can to regain the trust and confidence that he had before that incident. And it's reestablished leadership within the organization. So, and Mike McDaniel's right about that. It's not Mike McDaniel's call if Tyreek is a captain. The captains are voted on by the players. So, next season, if we see a C, the letter C, on Tyreek Hill's jersey, then that means that the players have forgiven him and want him to be one of the leaders of this team. And that proves that they do see him as that. If they don't have a C, if he doesn't have a C on his jersey, then he's not a captain. But that also doesn't mean that the players haven't forgiven him and stuff. My point in talking about all this, and kind of what Mike McDaniel was saying, is let's not make this a big deal. This also confirms that Tyreek Hill is going to be with the organization this year. There's not going to be a trade. So everybody who's screaming for Tyreek Hill to be traded, let's just chill. I kind of want Tyreek Hill to be traded too. But doing it this year is an absolute faux pas. It would be horrible for the Dolphins to do that. Solely from the point of money. It would screw us over so bad. And I think that even with what happened last year, I think having Tyreek Hill, that kind of dynamic player, that Hall of Fame dynamic player, having that on the field, it's going to help. It will help. So let's just chill with the trade Tyreek thing. It's not going to happen this year. It's probably going to happen next year. This will probably be his last year in a Dolphins jersey. So everybody just relax. All right? Moving on from that, Mike McDaniel talked about the fan base. And this was, I did appreciate this too. And I try to remind myself of this as well because I kind of criticize people who are just so over the edge negative and just hate everything and, we're going to fail, we're going to do this sucks, that sucks, we suck, you suck, I suck, everybody sucks. It really gets old after a while. And yeah, there's things that this team needs to work on big time. There's holes on this team right now. But we need to objectively look at the team and objectively look at what we're doing what our team is doing as a whole. We can't just instantly dismiss things. At that point, we're just haters. We're not fans. Fans can be disapproving of certain things for sure. But a fan also recognizes that they're fans as well. So we gotta kind of strike that balance. It's a hard thing to do. And like I said, I don't disrespect or call into question the fandom of somebody who says trade Tyreek or says Tua sucks. I can understand in a way. Do I agree with those statements? No, I don't. But I can understand why people would say those things. But when that turns into name calling and hatred against the other person for a different opinion and blah, 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 we got to chill. So, in regards to the fan base, Mike McDaniel said he appreciates the passion of the fan base and he understands the strong feelings that fans may have and the certain types of way they may feel, and he wants to do right by the fans. And that's a good thing that you want to hear that from our coach. Kind of like what Teron said in that interview he did with Dive Bar. He said the same thing. We want the fans to win. We don't want the fans to go through this any more than we're going through this. So it's a good thing to hear. In regards to the offensive line, now this was interesting. I'm going to go through this and I'm going to talk a little bit more about it because this was one of those things that made me go, holy crap, I can't believe he actually said it. Because it's true. So when asked about the offensive line, Mike McDaniel said he's very optimistic, and he said they're not done in free agency. Mm-hmm. They're not done in the draft. Obviously, it hasn't happened yet, but he said as far as building those positions, they're not done. He said there's more to come. Mike McDaniel reemphasized that they're acting like Teron Armstead will not be there, but he has no answer as of yet if it's yay or nay. He did mention that he expects to have answers on those couple questionable players in a couple weeks. So, like I said, We're probably going to find out about Teron Armstead and Calais Campbell right around draft time, maybe just after, maybe right before. But it's going to be around that time period. So sounds like Mike McDaniel's saying the same thing that I've been saying. This is the part that I really want to get into. The things that he said about Mr. Liam Eichenberg. That's right. McDaniel was specifically asked about Liam Eichenberg and James Daniels. I'm going to read this article here. It comes from the Miami Herald, so kind of take that with a grain of salt. But Liam Eichenberg and James Daniels created a huge buzz among Dolphins fans when their respective signings were announced. The reactions, however, were polar opposites, as Eichenberg's return generated vitriol and hatred while Daniels came with praise. I expect feelings from fans, McDaniel said. Losses and failure, and if you care, you assess blame somewhere. As for Eichenberg, the re-signing likely had something to do with his positional versatility. He has experience at tackle, guard, and center, yet even Mike McDaniel said the 4-year veteran needs to improve. Here's the quote from Mike McDaniel. He really did some things for the offensive line unit that few players could do in terms of sacrifice and position switching. Liam Eichenberg is well aware that through the different avenues of the remaining free agency and draft, that if Liam Eichenberg is starting next year, he's going to have to be the best player he's ever been. I agree 100%. He's going to need to be the best player that he's ever been. That's saying, number one, Mike McDaniel is going to give Liam Eichenberg a chance to be in the competition for a starting position on our offensive line. Yeah, I don't really like that. However, he did say that if he plays like he did this year, or if he hasn't become the best version of himself for this coming season, he will not be a starter. So it's basically either Liam Eichenberg improves greatly, or he will not be starting for this team. I love it. I'm happy with it. That gives me encouragement. That makes me think that they're seeing the same things about Liam Eichenberg as I am, because I said that I'm okay with Liam Eichenberg being on the team as a 7th, 8th, maybe even 9th offensive lineman, because he does have the ability to play a bunch of different positions up and down the line. I just don't think he's starting quality. So that's kind of where I'm at with it, and I'm glad that Mike McDaniel just straight up said it. That made me feel good to know that. In regards to quarterback 2, Zach Wilson, he said that Zach Wilson was the team's first choice. He said they wanted Zach Wilson, they got Zach Wilson. I can understand that. He said he likes his attitude, his intangibles, and his arm strength. And I can agree with that too. Sean Payton with the Broncos said that his attitude was incredible last year, and that's something that Zach Wilson has grown into, especially the last couple years after the Jets. He's changing. He's becoming more grown up, a little bit more mature, more of a leader. I like to hear that. We saw the interview with Zach Wilson saying that he wants to win a starting job and he wants to play for that, and I think that's the attitude you have to have. If you don't have that attitude, you're going to be a Skylar Thompson, who doesn't really want to start. It's clear. Zach Wilson does. I'm happy with that fact. And Mike McDaniel said that this environment with Miami helped Tua so much. And he said he wants the same for Zach Wilson. That's a pretty good thing to say, because, of course, we don't want the same Zach Wilson that was with the Jets. We want a new, improved Zach Wilson. We want one who's a little smarter, a little bit more quick to make his decisions and go through his reads. We want somebody who can bomb it too. We have that. So I'm excited about the possibility of Zach Wilson. And if he does have a chance to play, I personally, right now, without any proof, I'm leaning towards thinking that he's probably going to be the best backup quarterback we've had in 3 or 4 years. 3 years. So, something to think about there. I do like that he did say that, the environment helped Tua a lot, and it did. The environment that Mike McDaniel created helped Tua, bringing that offense in and everything. And he wants to do the same for Zach Wilson. He thinks he can, so we'll see. Is he really the quarterback whisperer? At the very end, though, they talked about the hot seat, and if Mike McDaniel felt any type of way about it. And Mike McDaniel straight up said that he feels the heat under his seat. And he expects it. Because things didn't go the way they wanted to. He said we were 8-9 last year. Of course there's going to be heat under my seat. And I like that. I want Mike McDaniel to think I need to improve. I need to do better here. And the way he's answering questions, being a little more honest, a little more candid with his answers, and the things that they're doing as a team right now, getting this young movement of players and with a different type of attitude compared to some players that we've had, I feel like we're going the right direction with the identity and attitude that this team needs to have to succeed. I just feel like we need a little more talent and a little more depth at some positions. But heading the right direction. Heading the right direction. Is it all going to pan out? I don't know, but I can't wait to find out. I can't wait for the draft to see what we do there. I can't wait for the rest of free agency. We have things to be excited for. We have things to look forward to as Dolphins fans. It's not all doom and gloom. If all you can see is doom and gloom and suck, I would genuinely encourage you to find another way to look at this, or try. Sometimes it's not easy, especially being a Dolphins fan, jaded for 25 plus years now. We've suffered. But we need to be faithful. We need to have that faith. We need to have that confidence. We need to support, because we want the same thing from our team. We want our players to support each other. We want confidence. We want fight in our team. And we as fans need to show that same fight, confidence, and support. That's pretty much all I got for you guys today. I'm going to be over on Curtis with Ace Per Head's channel here tonight for his weekly Dolphins Roundtable. And I'll see you guys over there. Make sure to join me over there when you guys can. And thanks for watching. I always appreciate it. Thanks for kicking up your feet and chilling out with me for a few minutes. Make sure to throw that like button down. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do. I usually put out a couple live streams and a couple videos a week. So I'm usually pretty active on here. So subscribe, like, comment, tell me what you guys think about all this. Go watch that Mike McDaniel video in my community tab. That interview, it's 30 minutes long. It's a long watch, but go watch it and then come back here and comment. Tell me what you guys think about it. Until then, until we talk to you guys again, until I see you next time, stay hopeful if you can. And fins up.